We are going to be starting a brand new week, and it's the last week, the week that's concluding the entire Sfirat Omer. And of course, that's the week of Malchut, and which the Malchut, if everything was done correct, the right way for the last 6 weeks, the Malchut will be the one that really polishes everything and concludes the entire Sfirah. The important thing to remember is that Sfirat Omer might be the days are over, but the action of refining myself, that should be all year round. This is not something that I do like a vacation once a year. It has to be constantly to do tikkun midot. The fact that we're condensed doing it throughout the Omer, that's one thing. But the point is to take all this information and to know how to apply it every day. Here, we're concluding the entire Sfirah with the week of Malchut, which Malchut means to rule. It's to be a ruler, to be a leader. And the nature of human beings is to be a ruler and to be a leader. Even though a lot of people say, oh, no, this is definitely not leader material. But nevertheless, we do have it in our nature as human beings to be a leader. And where do we get it from? Because Adam HaRishon was the leader of all the world. So by default, we're getting this nature in us to be able to not only to become a leader, but also the desire to be ruling. Now, 1 out of millions get to be a king, but we still have in us the nature that we want to be a king over somebody else, to rule over somebody else. Even though I might not be a prime minister, a president, a minister, but some people, when it's coming in a very negative way, they want to rule over other people. They want to rule their life, run their life, tell them what to do. This is when the nature here, this is where the Sfirah here is damaged. That I want to, in Hebrew, again, the Hebrew sometimes sounds much more clear. Limloch al mishu. And I rule over somebody. You do that. Start doing this. Do this. This is in human nature. We have this power. Now we need to know how we're directing it. Now there's a very famous saying in Kabbalah. It's called Ana Emloch. If you're learning about the world that preceded this world, and we know that there were 7 kings before this world. There's Olam HaTohu, Olam HaTikun, and so forth. But there's a saying in Kabbalah that says, Ana Emloch, Ani Emloch, I will be the king. I want to be the king. And that was the damage that these 7 kings did, that they all wanted to rule. So the saying in Kabbalah says, I will be the king, but coming and expressing this desire. I will be the king. Now, this can be explained in 2 ways. The negative way and a positive way. When is it a negative? To say, I want a king, I want to be the king, Ani Emloch, I will be the ruler, when I'm doing it for power. A lot of people, I don't want to talk Lashon Hara about politicians, but a lot of the politicians, they're not there for the really serving the public. They want power. That's usually, in many cases, that they're not looking to now benefit the country and society and to upgrade it and fix it. They want power. You're a politician. Yeah? You're in the government. You have a lot of power. That's why a lot of people running to become a governor, a senate, a mayor. Why? I want to have power. I want to be the one who runs the show here. So when it's done for power, then that's very, very negative. This taking this attribute of I want to be the king because I'm abusing it. I want a king, I want to rule because I want to control. When it's very, very positive, is that I really genuinely want to do something good for somebody else. That's when the Ani Emloch, I will rule, becomes very positive. So we all have this power, we all have this quality in us that drives us to say, I want to be the king. Ani Emloch. You just have to be very careful where this power goes to. And again, if it goes to abuse power, this is bad. This is mamash ra, evil. If you're taking this quality to apply to, I want to do good to another person, only good. I'm not here to looking for gratification, plaque on the wall, he did so amazing. I'm doing it because I want to help the other person. Why is that so good? is because it's coming from Kedusha. If I'm trying to do it for power, it's coming from Tumah, from evil. If I'm doing it for good, it's coming only from a place of holiness, of Kedusha. And this is a simple will, what's called Ratzon Pashut, Letiv, to do something good to somebody else. And I have the power, when I'm saying I mean all of us, have the power to do something good to somebody else. Bechlal, I said that many times, that at the end of the day, you have to make an account of what you did that day. And you have to make an account. Was I honest today? Was I dishonest? Was I productive? I mean, the key question you want to ask yourself every day is, did I perform today what I was supposed to? Can you imagine going to work, a job from 9 to 5, comes now 5 to 5, you're about to leave, and the boss tells you, you didn't do nothing today. What did I pay you for? Were you productive today? What did you do today? I once had a job that at the end of the day, the boss wanted everybody to come to him at the end of the day and tell him, what did you do today? What am I paying you for? Show me what you did today. Now, can you imagine? I don't know. So you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, what did I do today? I was hired by the master of the universe to do a certain action, to produce something. Did you do it? So you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, did I really did what I'm supposed to do today? What did I achieve today? If you're smart and you really are monitoring yourself, like a business, your business you monitor because you want to make money. But you have to also monitor your behavior and your spiritual growth. At the end of the day, you have to do a 5-minute, 10-minute cheshbon nefesh, an account. Ask yourself this question. What did I produce today? Was I productive today? Okay, I'm going up now to Shamayim. What am I coming with? But there's another question that you want to ask yourself every day. And this is less connected to what I said up to now, but more on our topic, is did I do something good today? Do I have an act of kindness? Mitzvot I did. I know I did mitzvot. I prayed, I put tefillin on, I said Birkat Hamazon, I said Shakol Nia Bidvaro. I did mitzvot today. I have to do mitzvot. If you didn't do mitzvot, that's already a problem. But nevertheless, you have to ask yourself, did I do any good action? Did I help somebody today? Now, I once said, I gave a lecture about the coming of Mashiach, and I explained that the coming of Mashiach can come in two ways, in a very good way, and which, to my humble opinion and outlook, it's not that, it doesn't look like we're going in that direction. And the other option, that it's coming in a disaster. And it's not that I'm inventing it. Go and open numerous sources, you'll see that the coming of Mashiach is going to come through a war. So this war is called Gog uMagog. The Talmud, it says, "Harotze leinatzal migog uMagog." You want to be saved from this scary war. Ya'asok b'Torah u'v'gemilut chasadim. Learn Torah all day long and do acts of kindness. That's what's going to save your skin at the end of the day. So and in that lecture I said, you have to come to a place that at the end of the day, if you didn't do at least 5 acts of kindness, don't go to sleep. You have to run after people. How can I do something good to somebody? To do a mitzvah, that's between me and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. But the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to see, did you help somebody? Are you helping other people? So I have the power in me. I have a very strong power to do good to somebody else. Now, in many times, it's my ego that says, I'm not helping this guy. He talked bad about me. He slandered my name. He's whatever. He's better than me. I'm not helping him. And in many opportunities, Hashem will throw to your direction that you have the opportunity to help somebody. And if you don't use that power, that's already a problem. That's when you're taking the ani emloch and you're taking it to a negative way. So, I need to get to a point that I really want to do good to somebody else. That's where I want to bring myself to. And you have to constantly ask yourself, am I doing that? Because at the end of the day, if I'm not doing acts of kindness to another person, what's my mitzvot worth? So since we're in the week of Malchut, we're the last week. This is a very important week because, you know, the race, how you win it, you need to come to the end. You can run 90% of the race. You stop at the 90%. You ran the race, you didn't win. Even if you didn't get, you're not even going to get second or third place. So the last week is extremely important. And it's a week of what's called manhigut, of leadership. You have to now decide where you're taking your leadership. Now, like I said, everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be the king. Everybody wants to be the one who has the upper hand. I know many people say, I don't want to, I'm fine being quiet in my corner. You're right, but we still have this nature in me to be taking control and ruling and taking control not only on my life, on somebody else's life. But like I said, this is a very positive attribute that I have in me. I need to know to which direction I'm turning the gauge. And the will has to be that I really want to do something good to somebody else. And how do I do that? Then it has to be done with an attribute that is called chesed. If chesed is love, if I don't want to do something good to you, then I'm not going to do it. I might do a little bit. But why do I want to do that? Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu, what's his entire essence? Is to do good to his creatures. Hashem is not bored. He's not looking for activities. He's not retired that he needs to give his time to charity. The Ratzon, the will of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ratzon HaBoreh, the ultimate will of Hashem, Le'ativ leBruav, is to do good to the ones that he created. So Hashem's nature is to do good to creatures, to the ones he created. So the same way Hashem is also giving me the energy, the power, and the ability to do good to other people. Now if I don't use it, so what am I doing here? Hashem says, I want you to resemble me. I am here only to do good to everybody. Hashem is willing to accept humiliation. Hashem is willing to accept as being slandered. Look how many people are mocking Hashem, slandering Hashem, humiliating Hashem. He's accepting everything. If you remember when we learned the series of Tomer Dvorah, I was explaining how the Kadosh Baruch Hu is willing to accept what's called elbonot. He's willing to accept it. But nevertheless, he says, I want you to do the same thing. I am here to do good to my creatures, and I want you to do good. Lativ lebruam. So Hashem gives us this power. Now, if I go in the path of Hashem, in the beginning of the book Tomer Dvorah, we learned that here a while ago. And I was explaining that Tomer Dvorah was written by Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, the Ramak. And he says in the Akdama, in the introduction, that we have to resemble our Creator. That's a big thing in my life. I need to say, how am I resembling my Creator? And he takes a verse in the book of Malachi, and he breaks it down how in this verse we find the 13 attributes of mercy, and then he goes one attribute after the other, how we have to resemble Hashem. That's it. That's the main idea of Tomer Dvorah, another way of Tikkun HaMidot. And he says there, you have to go in the path of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. See what Hashem does, now how I'm walking in that path. So when I walk in the path of Hashem, then I have to become a melech, a king of chesed, of kindness. And this is the Chesed of Malchut, is to be a king, to be a giver, but to do it with chesed, to do it with love. And if I don't get to this point, something very, very big and dominating is missing in my entire being. That's why I, again, said before, that if you passed a day and you didn't do at least 5 acts of kindness, forget about now the sins that you did. There's do tshuva for that. Now I'm looking at the sins that I did. Besides the fact that I always tell people, listen, we're humans, we sin a lot. But at least balance it out with a lot of good things. Because at the end of the day, you can come and admit, listen, I lied here, I cheated here, I slandered here, I was judgmental here. Okay, fine. But at least do a bunch of mitzvot, so it will have some good weight. So a day cannot pass without you doing at least a few acts of kindness. I want to follow in the path of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. The path of the Kadosh Baruch Hu is to be kind and courteous and Baal Chesed, doing charity. Then I have to see what is Hashem does. And Hashem does Chesed with us. Hashem feeds everybody. Hashem takes care of everybody, even the wicked ones. Even the Reshaim. Some people ask, why does Hashem sustain the wicked people? The other day, my child asked me a very interesting question. This is a perspective of a 7-year-old. Why did Hashem create bad people? Now what do you answer now, a 7-year-old? Why Hashem created bad people? How can you explain such a deep concept to a child, that if the child sees evil people, oy va'avoy. Now go and answer to him, how can Hashem, the tachlit hatov, the ultimate good, creates a bad person? It doesn't make sense even. That's where you see the tmimut, the innocence of a little kid. Why would Hashem do a bad person? So, and really when you're thinking about it, why does Hashem sustain the bad people? Isn't it easy just to go like that? Let's just get rid of them. So, I mean, I had to give him an answer that will fit his level of understanding. That the majority of the answer is that right now we are in exile. And part of the exile is that we don't see the good in everything. Everything has good. Everything has a godly spark in it. Right now, there's a level of concealment that we don't see the good in everything. And even something that is bad, we perceive it as bad, it's actually good. We just don't see it yet. Why? Because we don't have permission yet to see how something that is bad is actually really good for me. So, but nevertheless, to stay on the topic, the Kadosh Baruch Hu sustains even Rashaim. That's the ultimate good. There's a reason why He sustains them. But nevertheless, I have to constantly go in the path of Hashem. Hashem is a melech, He's a king, and He's a giver. That's chesed. Chesed means love, to give. So Chesed of Malchut is the power in me that Hashem gave me. We all have it. To do chesed, but only in a way that I really want to give. Just yesterday, somebody did a certain act, and I told the person, I'm sorry to tell you, don't hate me for what I'm telling you, but this act that you did, don't count it as tzedakah. Because you did it, you had a motive behind it. And you only did this act, it wasn't tzedakah with money, it was an act. You only did it for a certain reason. You didn't do it for the sake of doing this act. So I'm already telling you, don't write it in your book of tzedakah. Write it as an act. Told him, between us, that's a bribe. It's not. Don't write it off. Don't say I did an act of kindness. I said you didn't. Be honest with yourself. You did a bribe because you thought I'll do this, which sure the wrapping of it looks like a great act of kindness, but you had a motive. You had a reason why you did it to get that. So I'm sorry to tell you. I'm telling you between us. You can't write it off as tzedakah. Don't go up now to Shamayim and say, I did an act of kindness. No, you didn't. You bribed in a very slick way somebody so you can get something for your benefit. This is not Chesed Sheba Malchut. This is a bribe. This is, you manipulated now the situation. So sometimes a lot of people, they do an act of kindness that is translated as an act of kindness, but it's only done, there's a motive behind it. How do you call it? An ulterior motive. You didn't do the act of kindness. You did an act to benefit you in something else because you wanted the benefit. So the real giving is when it's done with chesed, because I want to do good to you. I'm not expecting a thank you. I'm not expecting you write my name on the wall. I'm not expecting anything. So you have to ask yourself, first of all, I have the power in me of this ani emloch, and I will rule. Where are you taking it? If you're taking it to abuse power, just know that you're taking this midah to the worst of the worst. That's how people become so evil. Because they want the power, they want to rule, they want to have the upper hand, they want to be the one who calls the shots. That's when you're taking this drive, and some people are so, what's the right word? Not motivated, but they're so driven by this power, they're willing to destroy everything in their way. Just so I will be the number one. And I will be the, so to say, the leader and the ruler. They're willing to destroy people's lives. That's where you take this power and you use it in mega power in a very negative way. Now take this power and empower it in a positive way to become the giver, but from true chesed, that's Malchut Sheba Chesed. So when we want to do a tikkun, this is like the last of the last. I mean, again, we're doing here just a tikkun. I shouldn't even say just a tikkun. We're doing a tikkun. So now when we come to Malchut, this is when we have to really resemble the midot of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and we start by becoming a giver. And I make a switch in my mind to become an ultimate giver. And now really we're running out of time because Mashiach is around the corner. And the ultimate, what the Kadosh Baruch Hu, you want to melt Hashem's heart, is only when you become similar to Him. You know where you see it is when is the parent most happy with the child? When the child is like him. Of course, I'm not talking about a parent who's the head of the mafia and he wants his son to be also in the mafia. I'm talking in a nice, normal way. That you want your son, your daughter to go on your path. That's what you're wishing for. I want my son to be better than me. So how much nachat do you give the Kadosh Baruch Hu when you go in the path of the Kadosh Baruch Hu? And the practical exercise you want to do here is you want to understand you have a lot of power in you. Most people don't even know how powerful they are or what type of attributes they have. They don't even know in their arsenal of powers what they possess. But we have the strong power in us. Now I have to first ask myself, am I using all my qualities? If you're not using the qualities that Hashem gave you, then why did He give it to you? I already mentioned that in many other classes. Every person has qualities. He has midot tovot, good attributes, talents, all sorts of things that the Kadosh Baruch Hu gave you that you're much better than other people. And why did Hashem give you a talent? Everybody has a talent. There's no such a thing that a person is not talented. One person is an amazing chef, another one is an amazing gardener, another one is a violinist, another one is a painter. Everybody has talents. Some people have 5 talents and 10 talents. Doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to be Picasso to say I have a talent. Some person can be an amazing baker. That's a talent. So everybody has a talent. But why did Hashem give you a talent? To use it. Only to help other people. If you want to make a business out of it, good. But you have to look in yourself, what is my power? What am I really good at? Constantly in Tikkun Midot, I'm looking, what am I bad at? Oh, I'm very judgmental. Okay, fix that. Oh, I'm very quick to anger. Okay, so fix that. I'm very impatient. Oh, so fix that too. Now you have to look at, what am I good at? Oh, you know what? I'm actually very patient. I'm very courteous. I'm very good in communicating. I'm very good in this. I'm very good in that. Look at what your power is. Now ask yourself, am I using it? And you'll see that in most cases, you're not using your full power. You're not using it to benefit others. The only reason why Hashem gave you anything is to give it to others. Hashem gave you money to give it to others, not to keep it, not to have a 7-digit balance in your bank account. If you have a lot of money in the bank account, it's not good. It means you're not giving it. Hashem gave you money not to collect it, to give it. Whatever Hashem gave you is only to give over. Hashem gave you a good brain, a good teacher, it's to teach. It's not to keep it to yourself. So you look in yourself what you're good at. There's nothing wrong with writing now on a list all the great things that I am. I told you already, Moshe Rabbeinu, told you in the previous class, Moshe Rabbeinu knew exactly who he was. But he knew also how to balance it. In one way that it doesn't become too much of an ego. On the other hand, he knew exactly who he was. He knew he's Moshe Rabbeinu. So you have to know, you make a list. The left side of the list is all your bad midot. I'm impatient, I'm quick to anger, I'm judgmental, I'm whatever it is. And on the right side, you write all your good midot. And then you look at all those good things that you have, these good qualities. Even if you are amazing in doing jigsaw puzzles, whatever, write it down. You might be able to use that to help another person. Now, once you make a list of all these amazing things that you're good at, don't discount what you're good at. Because a lot of people say, I'm not a great writer or a great author or a great musician. You don't have to be a great musician. You can be a great baker. But nevertheless, you need to look at all the good qualities that Hashem gave you. Now you question yourself, am I using it? And then you add on that question, am I using it to benefit others? And this is the tikkun of Chesed of Malchut, because the Malchut is the power in me to give other people. Hashem is only a giver, by the way. Hashem doesn't take anything. He's not a receiver. Hashem doesn't need us. Hashem doesn't need our mitzvot. I know you can philosophize on that and says Hashem needs us, and Melech Beloam, there's not a king without a nation. We're not going to that direction. I'm just saying that Hashem's essence is just a giver. Giver. He's just giving all the time. And he's not expecting anything. So I have to be a giver too. Now take all the good qualities that Hashem gave you. Now with all the chesed in you, now start giving it to other people. It's not about ramming other people. It's not about me, how am I destroying now that person's life so I would look better. That's mamash evil. That's a midah ra'ah. So when we're going into the week of Chesed, to the week of Malchut, the beginning, the start, and not only it's the beginning of this week, but the conclusion of all the weeks, is how am I applying this kindness, this Chesed that Hashem gave me, in order to give to others, to benefit others. Needless to say, this is one of the best ways of really concluding the Sfirah, the entire set of the Sfirot, and Bechlal, for your own self-achievement, like I told you before, is how much good do I do to other people? And it's not about having an ego here, but at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, did I do good to at least one person? Did one person smile today because of me? And if you can't answer yourself yes, well, that's already not a good thing. So at least go, I don't know, on Facebook and put a funny post that somebody will smile. But the point is that you have to have, at least that's how I run my day. I have expectations of the day. When I conclude the day, I always teach my kids, prepare the clothes tonight for what you're wearing tomorrow. You might wake up late. There might be a little bit of, an action in the morning. Prepare the clothes in the morning. You already know what you're wearing tomorrow. It's already on the edge of the bed. It's on your desk, whatever. You save yourself one problem for the next day. So in my day, when I conclude my day, I'm already saying, what's tomorrow's tasks? Yeah, I have to wake up in the morning, pray, eat, work, whatever. But I already laid down my expectations for the next day. And the right way of doing it, this is a minhag, a custom of Hasidim, that every hour you stop of your day and you recap, what did I do in the last hour? Was I productive, or was I now magneted, magneted to the screen on Facebook? If you're smart, every round hour, you make a stop. In Israel, I remember that as a kid. Now I don't listen to radio. As a kid, we would listen to radio. We didn't have MP3, iTunes, YouTube. We didn't have all this stuff. The only music we had is radio. Ooh, who had records? You had to be rich to have records and tapes and all that stuff. And all the time it would be interrupted once an hour. And the radio in Israel, it goes tee, 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 tee. Right? You ever listen to the radio? And then the broadcaster will say, hello, the hour is 4 o'clock, my name is so-and-so, and here is the headlines of the news. He gives 30 seconds of what happened, that's it, go back to the radio station. That's what you have to do once an hour. And stop and say, okay, I just passed from 3 to 4. What did I do now for a whole hour? Well, I was on the phone, I was sending smileys all over the place, looking at cats dancing on YouTube, whatever. What did you do the last hour? That way, you do that, your day will be very productive. Because you're constantly looking at yourself, how productive I am. Needless to say, at the end of the day, you want to see, was the day productive? And a big part of the productivity, so to say, of the day is that at the end of the day, can I mark that I actually helped a person today? Genuinely, not here I helped somebody because I need him to help me solve a problem. That's not helping, that's bribing at the end of the day. I'm not telling you now how to run your life. I'm just saying that if I'm doing a genuine chesed, and yes, sometimes it's giving a 1 shekel coin into somebody's cup that's sitting outside of a store. He nodded, he said thank you, he said Baruch Hashem, that's it. So my day has to be to the fullest. If not, then you're lacking what you need to do in that day. Again, to conclude, the beginning, Malchut Chesed Sheba Malchut is resembling and mimicking the Chesed of the Kadosh Baruch Hu and being a giver. A genuine giver, no expecting anything here. I don't even need a thank you. I'm doing it for the benefit of another person. How can I benefit another person? Trust me, that is going to be your agenda. Hashem is going to take care of all your problems. He's going to find you the parnasah. He's going to find everything that you need. Everything will go smooth because your agenda is how am I making another person's life today a little bit better. So B'ezrat Hashem, we should have a successful week to conclude the Sfirah. But this is a midah that you want to apply every day, not only on the day of Malchut, Chesed Sheba Malchut. Every day, that has to be on your to-do list. How am I now doing real chesed like the king? of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. You know what was your daily reminder? When you say Modeni Lefanecha. Hashem now did to you a favor, He gave you back your soul. Chazarta bi nishmati, you gave me back my engine. Now what do you want me to do, Hashem? If you don't asking Hashem in the morning, what do you want me to do? Then you're missing a big part of your plan of the day. When I say Modeh Ani, I sit for 10 seconds. Hashem, what do you want me to do today? Please show me what you want me to do today. Then I'll put my leg off the bed and step on a toy. Okay, I know you want me to work on patience today. I limp to the bathroom instead of screaming at the child because he left a toy on the floor. I know, today you want me to work on patience. Now today everybody's going to drive me nuts today. So that's what Hashem wants you to do today. So Hashem wants you to achieve things. I can guarantee to you that on the top of the line that Hashem says, what can you do to another person? I think it's a saying from one of the presidents. Don't ask what the country can do for you, what you can do for the country. I think it was Kennedy, right? So, but nevertheless, this is a good way of looking at things. Don't ask what you can do for me. What can I do for you? So this is Malchut, Chesed of Malchut. Mezad Hashem, we should really apply this power in us, because if it's not applied in Chesed, it goes only to a bad direction, and from there, the highway to the pit is very, very short. How am I abusing this power?